How do May beat, make lose? Yeah, story mode's my favorite part of this game. Okay. I want to like briefly talk about May. I don't think I have as much authority on this matchup as a lot of people. I haven't played it that much. I actually haven't ran into many Mays on like floor 10. She's hard to anti-air her JH. This is the classic May problem, right? Is her JH, her J2H, right? This here. So I'm gonna actually like set this up and record it. Right? Boom. So this is what May players are going to be doing to you. And you're going to notice that it's really hard to time a 6P. Right? You can 6P it in this game, which is actually a big upgrade over old versions. So you can 6P it. But what you actually want to do is, because of the way that, like, her air dash in particular is really laggy. So you want to watch for it. Right? And you might be going, well, that's because you didn't IID. Well, what's IID? Right? It's still fast, but you can air throw it, right? And so you have to be aware to air throw it. But here's the other thing, is that like just like throw out a neutral jump normal every once in a while against May. Right? Look how easy that tags her. Blown up. Now here's the thing that you're gonna see people complain the fuck about. Yeah, her air dash in most games is actually a little bit slower than the rest of the cast, if I'm not wrong. It's not because of that, it's because of her unique jump arc, right? Because May has a different jump than the rest of the cast. She has this very weird jump. Now, what I want to show off now is the dolphins. So there are two dolphins, right? There's the instant dolphin and then there's the slow dolphin. So against instant dolphin, you get a turn, right? But against heavy dolphin, you get to interrupt it. And so that's basically the rules, is you just guess which dolphin she's gonna do. And you can base this on the distance. If you're from here, she can't hit you with S dolphin, right? Oh, you can. Okay, it's long as fuck in this game. Holy shit! Okay, if you're here, she can't do it, right? But at this range anyways that I was at here, it's reactable and you can backdash, right? So that's the other thing about this game, is that the backdash button actually makes a lot of situations so much easier. Like, look at my movement. Now let's do that with like dashes. And I've been playing Guilty Gear for a long time, so I've done movement like this. It's hard. Right? It's hard to always be on point when you're moving like this. So having this button is super sick. The other thing is that this into wild throw, I'm pretty sure is guaranteed on hit. It's very hard to get out of, just in general in this game. So yeah, make sure that you use, I shut off Fuzzy Throw OS to someone earlier in the stream, so make sure that you use that, right? May is very good in this game. I want to make no mistake. This character's super sick. But like the tricks to May are watching for, like, throwing out neutral jump buttons is very like low risk because you can't be hit by dolphins doing it really. Like it'll block dolphins and it'll block air dashes, right? It'll force her to ground approach, which she's generally not as good at. She has some good pokes, right? But ideally, she doesn't do that, right? She wants to do this, right? She wants to do this. Boom. So, in general, it's about stopping her on the way up, right? So, use those air to airs, air throws, right? You can 6P her in this game, which has actually changed. A lot of characters pretty much can't 6P her in, like, plus R. In particular, plus R, she's extra good. But in Exert, it's hard to do, too. That's for sure. Something else is that a lot of characters 5Ps actually will, so, right, you can do this, right? Or if you throw out like this, right? In particular, if you see her like crouching ever, you can deal with it, right? It's not like reactable. You have to do it preemptively, right? Like I'm not even reacting and I'm the one playing the recording back. Yeah, she's really good. But May has countermeasures, right? And a lot of these are like the same countermeasures they've always been. In particular, this version of May is very strong. Like, they've made her very good. But the countermeasures are the same as ever. And once again, I talked about this earlier when I talked about the Leo countermeasures. Just because there's counterplay to something doesn't mean that that's like a end-all, be-all answer, right? You can do like this, though, right? right? So you have stuff like that. Just like BRC and neutral against Mei might be a good idea, especially if they're on the offensive. Because like worst case scenario is you can go for the throw, right? Pretty nice. Remember that she has this, and this is really scary. Oh, that's cool. She bounces, so you actually get a cross under. I tried to do her dive move from plus R. Some other things are, how do you do it? This has 2 hits, so make sure that you don't get gimmicked by this. Right, so I'm gonna quickly do this, and I'm just gonna show off a punish. Right. So you can't deal with that, right? Right, so you can do this, right? But boom. So you can do, right, you want to block the first hit. But if you get a wire C by accident, it's quite dangerous, so. There you go. So you want to punish it like that with meter, right? You can't backdash because it's too big, right? You can't air throw her, unfortunately. Oh, you can. Okay, so this is the punish. It's hard. But you can punish it, right? So, and this is like a guaranteed punish, so if you just practice this, it's simple enough, right? Dangerous, but it's a punish. So yeah. Oh shit, you have a black name. It's like minus a billion though, why not just hit them with a button? I mean, you know. Because what if they have PRC? That's actually a good example. What if they have PRC, right? They're gonna PRC to make that save, they're a Mei player. So that's pretty important. So like, that is the type of thing you need to consider, right? That's not always gonna happen, right? But like, because usually people aren't going to dump 100 meter randomly, but it's also a Mei player, so if anybody's gonna do it, it's probably them. Also, nice talking to you, Eve. Have a good one. Hope your stream was good. But yeah, Mei is pretty crazy in this game. This is like genuinely hit confirmable. I mean to go here. Right. This might be like hit confirmable. I actually don't know. It'd be good to test it. But yeah. So Mei is pretty crazy. Those are just some general counterplay elements of Mei. Remember, she has a good 6B, but it's like whiffy. Which is this obviously. Backdash with punish it, right? is the wrong answer, I have a feeling. If you can get out of range of it, right? This is a good answer, but otherwise not so much. I would just like pray, you know? You want to interrupt the startup, but if she does the quick version, I guess. I think they did that in Exert, didn't they? Right, so you can backdash it. There we go. So you can backdash it, it's just a little bit tricky. Generally your answer is to just outspace it. Or you interrupt it. But that is a possible answer to it. Those are some basic Mei stuff. Anybody else have anything that they want me to talk about a little bit? This is generally just meant for like mid-level play. A lot of these are like very obvious if you've been playing a long time, but I think a lot of new players are going to be a little bit more scared of the system. The system in this game is a little bit different than previous titles. In general, most of what I've shown off is doable with like most of the cast. Some characters obviously don't have like the air mobility of others, right, or the forward dash mobility. Yeah, Mei is pretty cute. Yeah, just in general, look at the solutions that I've provided for matchups and see how they apply to your own character. How do you beat Soul Pressure? There's actually a video by Sajam about beating it that I feel is a lot more concise than anything I could tell you. The trick is that far slash into far slash, you can beat it with like 5k, 5p. You just have to guess when he's gonna Gatling. And once again, I'll say that same thing that I've said I think 3 or 4 times now in the stream. Just because a move has counterplay doesn't mean like, yeah, like just because like the counterplay isn't very good doesn't mean that a strategy is necessarily broken. In this case, I think it's a little bit on the overtuned side. But also, just because something has counterplay doesn't mean it's fake. Never call something fake. Things are technically fake, but like that has no meaning. What matters is if you can get it to work in real matches, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like, you might look at those like SKD clips of ways to counter Kai pressure. You might go, oh, you can counter all of this. It must be fake, right? That means some of it, if you know the right OSs, can be quote-unquote fake, as in you can cover them all. But that's not going to be the case for everything, and people are going to mix stuff up and do things to specifically bait you to go for that type of stuff. So, at high level, fake only really has a meaning if there's a guaranteed way to always deal with strategies, right? Okay, see you, Eve. Yeah, anyways, I hope that is helpful. Because there's a lot of quote-unquote fake things. Like, you know, redash pressure, you can just jab. But also, what if she did a backdash instead, right? Because she could air backdash cancel stuff in this game now and hit you. Or what if instead of a backdash, she, like, neutral jumped and then came down with a JH, right? Now she's extra plus. What if she did super, right? So there's a lot of things that are quote-unquote fake, and that's like a big part of Guilty Gear in general. It's a big part in every fighting game, really, but it's something that's very much at the core of Guilty Gear, and this game stays very true to it. Is that whole idea of giving you options, like giving you stagger options, or giving you like multiple chain options, and the very wide staggers in this game shows that they really, really want to bring that to the forefront of the game. So yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, follow, but I'm gonna hop off for a bit. My voice is a little bit tired. I've been explaining things for about an hour and a half. Everything in here, make sure you test it yourself and play around with it, right? The most important things that you can do are you want to just like make sure that you go for also, can you just not use that name in this chat? Thank you. The most important things that you want to go for, just kind of in general, is like anything important. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Anything important that like someone tells you about a game, you need to make sure that you test it yourself, and you need to make sure that you test it for the situations you want to use it in. And I showed off me using a lot of the training menus in the game, and if you ever have questions on how to use those training menus, please just ask. Or if you, because a lot of people will ask me for answers, right? And a lot of people will do this to any mid to high level player, right? When they're a beginner. Even me as a mid-level player, I'll ask high level players this, right? And it's really easy to just take the answer, right? But what's important is that you need to take the answer and understand it. Because like I explained, there's always counterplay, even to the counterplay, right? So you need to understand your option. Someone can give you an option, right? And you can go, oh, I want to use this. But you need to not only use the option that they tell you, you need to understand the option, right? So I hope that's helpful. I hope that you all have fun in the lab. If any of you needed help learning RAM, I'll be cutting that out and uploading it to YouTube as a separate piece. And then I'll kind of be chunking this tutorial up into its parts, more or less, into like little things. This is not only a tutorial, but also just like kind of a testing ground. This game is very new. Some of the stuff that I could talk about might be less relevant than I thought it was in a few months' time. But that's not what's important. What's important is to try and work on your understanding of the game. And this is just where my understanding of the game is at right now. And I wanted to share that with anyone who wanted to watch. So good luck, and I hope you guys have fun playing this game. And remember that I'll be doing more content, probably with Strive, as well as Plus R on my channel in the future. And so just remember to keep playing, and remember to not take things too serious, and to just focus on learning. Because that's the important thing, and winning right now is not very important. Getting the early month 1 wins are super easy. If I wanted to do that, I would be entering online tournaments all the time, right? What I want to do is I want to learn as much as I can about this game, and I encourage you to do the same. Understand the game well, and then you can really have a complete understanding moving forward, and you won't be rushing and being like, I need to be better. You'll be like, no, I understand what's happening, right? And then you'll have a good idea of where to go from there. So always just focus on learning and expanding your understanding. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll cut this up and I'll upload it in the future. You can come watch the different parts on YouTube, and I'll be back on Twitch. See you guys.